Hey everyone, Kelly Dean Allen here once again. Today, going to show you how to play Breaking the Chains by George Lynch and Dokken. A cut from the band's 1981 debut album and their first somewhat modest hit. Fairly accessible intermediate level stuff here, even the guitar solo to this one, which is arguably one of the easier George Lynch solos to play. Word of warning, however, if you want to play along with this one, don't do it along with the official video release of this track on YouTube, as I did, because it's pretty cringe. But hey, it was early days for hard rock music videos, so we'll give them a pass on that one, I suppose. Let me just say that Don Dokken splayed out in a very, very short bathrobe, I think, on a bed is an image you don't want stuck in your head for very long. Regardless, let's close in, learn how to play this one, shall we? All right then, Dokken, George Lynch, and Breaking the Chains. We are in standard tuning for this tutorial. This one has a pretty easy opening riff, goes something like this. So we're just grabbing an E power chord here. We're going to hit it twice and then we're going to slide it back to D and hit that twice. Right? And then you're going to chug on a palm muted open E string 4 times. Right? And then you're going to do the exact same thing from D off to C. And then you're going to reverse it. C back to D. And then the same thing from D back to E. Chugging on that palm muted open E string 4 times, right? So that's the riff. Now that's going to continue another playthrough before the vocals come in for the first verse, which we're going to just keep playing that. However, he does a short little intro solo here using octaves, right? Plays that right there. So we're starting with octaves here on the 7 and 9 of the A and the G, muting the D string in between. You're going to slide that up 2 spots. And then you're going to strum it with that kind of rhythm, right? Like little mutes in there. Then you're going to slide it up again to 10 and 12. And then you're going to slide it up 2 more spots to 12 and 14, and then you're going to slide it up to 14 and 16. So you're kind of sliding into it, right? And then you start strumming it. And when you slide into that 14, 16, you're only going to hit it once. And then we're into that. So we're dropping down here onto the 16 of the G string, single hit, and then you're going to do a double hit on the 17 of the B, and then drop onto the 19 of the high E and let that ring. Right? And then we're just back into the main riff again for the first verse. Now leading into chorus, E, D, G, B, A, D, G, right? So that little progression there, E to D to C. Then you're going to grab a single note here, a B note at the 2nd fret off to open A, D, G, and then you drop into G for the chorus, right? Chains around you. So coming off that G, we're going to go into an E minor, then into C, and then back to E minor again. Breaking the chains around you. Nobody else can find you. Back to G. Think I could look around you. Back off to E minor, and then we're going to go into C to D. Right, and then you're going to hit that D again, move it into E, and hit it 3 times. So that's the chorus. C, E minor, back to G, back to E minor, into C, D, D, E, 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 back into the riff, right? And back into the octaves again. Second verse, same as the first verse. Second chorus, same as the first chorus. And then we drop into the bridge, which is really easy using all the same chords, E to D to C and reverse. C to D to E, just let them ring. E to D to C, C to D to E, and then we're into the solo. So that's the solo right there. Pretty easy solo by George Lynch's standards. We're soloing in the key of E minor using the E natural minor scale for the most part. We do grab that note there, kind of a Dorian mode there, Dorian note there, out of the Dorian mode, very, very briefly. We kind of pull off to it. And so it starts on the 11th fret of the G string with a nice slow bend, little half step bend. Then you're going to do 2 more bends in succession, picking each note. Right? Picking at the top of each bend. And then you're going to pull that 11 off to 9 and then finish on the 10 of the D string. Then we're into this. So we're going to go 11, 12, 14, double hit, down to 12 of the B, and then just reverse that, 14 back off to 12 of the G. And then you're going to do a little trill between 11 and 12, back onto the 12, and then finish on the 14 of the D. Right? Then we're down to the 14 of the high E, and I'm going to play the same thing that we played at the beginning of the solo. However, we finish with a little trill, right? Slow bend, and then 2 more bends picking at the top, right? Little half step bends, trill, and then finish on the 13 of the B, right? And then finishing about the first half of the solo with this. Just 11, 12, 14, down to the 12 of the B, 12, 11, 9, to finish the first half of the solo. So, from the top. Now, 17. Into that lick. So full step bend here on the 17 of the high E, and we're going to do 4 bend releases. And then you're going to back it up to 15, pull it off to 14, do the same thing on the B string, and then up to 16 of the G. Right? Then up to 20, full step bend, high E, into that, off to 17, up to 20 of the B, back to 17, and then 20, 19, 17 of the B. Finishing on that 17, right? Then up to 22, full step bend, let it hang, pick it at the top and release it. Back to the natural note, finish the solo with this. So sliding into 20, 19 off to 17, a little trill between 17 and 19, back it up to 15, pick it, and then pick it again, do a little trill between 15 and 17, and then finish on the 17 of the B. Kind of like that. And that is the solo. Let's take it from the top, and then we'll be done pretty much, because we just drop back into another verse and then into another chorus, which we've already learned. That, my friends, is how you play Breaking the Chains by Dokken. Certainly hope you enjoyed that, found it helpful. If you did, please hit that like button right down there. Maybe drop me a subscribe if you haven't done that already, as that would be very kind. Hope you're well out there in your little guitar corner of the world, wherever that may find you, and we will see you next time. Cheers.